So seconds out, delighted to be joined by Sam Eggington, former European champion, of course, at welterweight, albeit now plying his trade a weight up at super welter, which is what we have to call it these days, much to my chagrin. How you doing?
I'm alright, pal. Yeah, I'm just in lockdown. Yeah, I'm alright.
The beard tells its own story.
Yeah, I had the missus try and get the missus to whip her one round side, a little blade on the beard. Try to neaten it up as much as possible, but
Well, at least you had a go.
doing our best.
What's your kind of lockdown life consisting of at the moment? What's your day to day?
Honestly, pal, yeah. I know it's bad because obviously of what's going on and people are dropping like flies. It's not great, but for me, this lockdown couldn't come at a better time. I just had a baby. I had a baby the 3rd of February.
Congratulations.
So I was going to have to be training and I was getting ready for a fight the 28th of March. So the fact that they locked us down and I was staying in the house, it's kind of done me some favours. You know what I mean? I've had way more time around, my daughter than I would have, if that makes sense. Because by the time I go train and come back, we've napped through the day, a baby, and by the time I get home of a night, I probably won't have seen her all that much. But I have to box to pay the bills. So this has come, at a decent time.
Is this your first child?
No, it's my third.
Third.
Yeah, I got
Started
two
the
boys.
family as young as your boxing career.
I did, mate. I started the family before my boxing career. Well, before
26, aren't you?
Yeah, I got an 8-year-old. He's 9 in June, so I started nice and early.
Jesus, 34 pro fights and 3 kids. You must feel like a
I
veteran.
know that's why I look like I do, man. I'm all old. And
I'm sure it could be a lot worse. But yeah, so
all
it's
this is
great.
died.
Are you being quite like hands-on then?
Yeah, I mean, I have been with all of them. I mean, I know a lot of people say it, and most people are, but yeah, I do as much as I can. The night feeds and all that. I've done that, but with both the boys. It's more of a struggle now for some reason. It's just harder to wake up, but I try and do as much as I can. Yeah, baths, night feeds, everything, anything.
What was the plan for March 28th? I know you were supposed to be fighting, but who were you fighting? How many rounds and stuff was that all worked out?
I did have an opponent. I couldn't tell you where he was from or what his name was. I think he'd won 23 and lost 13 or something like that. Couldn't tell you where he was from. But I was doing an 8-rounder. So I'm still hopefully doing an 8 or 10 rounder when it's rescheduled. But we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, 8 or 10 rounder.
And a couple of fights ago, you had a massive win out in Italy, beat a really highly touted Italian fighter in 2 rounds, Orlando Fidigiglio, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
I think I've said that right. That's just copying the commentators on the night. How important was that in hindsight to your career? Because you were on kind of shaky run, and then that's just put you right back in it and top 5 world ranking as well.
Yeah, I mean, another geezer asking me this the other day, and I think what it shows is that you've got to take your opportunities as they come. The Liam Smith opportunity come. I weren't really in any position to fight Liam Smith at the time, but I took it. I lost. It weren't great. It just shows that the opportunities come because within a month or two, I was offered another huge fight in the middle of Italy somewhere against a kid who was ranked 5th in the world for a decent belt. And it's come, and that year alone just shows you that when there's an opportunity, you should really take it. The Liam Smith thing didn't work out, but within a month or two, there was another one there. So I think a lot of people need to be told, the old's great, being unbeaten, but it don't count for everything. But yeah, you just got to take your opportunities. The Italian thing was great, worked out perfect. Just before the end of the year, and I even got a 4 or 6 rounder in after that.
Yeah.
Local to me, so yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of a bit of a throwback fighter, aren't you? In that you've had, for 34 fights and 26 years old, you've had quite a lot of big name fights and kind of headline acts and that kind of thing already.
Yeah. Again, it's literally just I don't get me wrong. I've worked hard. I do everything I'm told and more, but a lot of it's luck. Like the second prize fighter, I got beat in the first prize fighter. I was in the first rounds.
Yeah.
I don't think I showed anything in the first prize fighter that granted me a second opportunity in the second prize fighter. But with luck, somehow, I got that shot. Barry was there on the night. I lost I don't think it was a great decision. And then, Barry, luckily enough, Barry come out and said, "We'll get you on another Sky show." And I kind of just brushed it off at the time because I was just presuming he was saying that to all the lads. But he was a man of his word, and he got us out again.
Why is Barry Hearn such a huge fan of yours? I mean, lots of us are huge fans of yours, but why is he really focused in on you?
Honestly, I think it's like you say, he's throwback. He likes the hard work. He likes the fact that someone's got to work hard to get to where they want to be. A lot of people winning bouts and doing great these days are the touted amateurs that make it look easy. I think Barry understands and what he's done himself. He come from nothing himself. He understands the meaning of hard work, and when you want something, you've got to put it all in to get it.
And you said earlier that when you fought Liam Smith, obviously lost, brave attempt, but lost in 5 rounds, you weren't really in a position to fight him. Your ultimate goal is to get to that level. So what are the areas of your game that you feel you need to work on to make that, difference up?
I need to slip a few punches on the way in, obviously. Oh, yeah. But a lot of it is just I get too brave. I think I don't think as much. Like, forget a bit of success. I forget what gets me that success, and then I just think I have to, plow in and do what I want. And that's not the case. I just need to think a bit more in the ring. I mean, I don't know. I suppose it just depends on who you're fighting at the time. Take less chances, I suppose. Do things a bit more clever. Like, there's no other fight that I've walked into that I thought I ain't fought. I want to knock this kid out tonight nice and early. And maybe I need to change that mindset, do you know what I mean? But I don't know. There's a few things, obviously.
I suppose experience helps with all of that. The amount of people you fought and the different styles, the more you do that, the more your own style is going to change and evolve.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of different styles. I mean, I've had runners, I've had people that come and have a fight. So I've worked on everything, but by the time the next camp comes around, I forgot the last camp, so I need to do it all again. But I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, I'm always working. I'm always trying. I'm always working hard, and it's coming together to a point. I mean, I'm starting to, really think about what I'm doing. Well, probably not this year, but as the years come on, next year maybe.
And as a pro, is Liam Smith the best you fought? Oh.
Do you know what? I've done a lot of rounds with Liam Smith. A lot of sparring rounds, and he's very. You don't waste nothing. I think it's the best thing. Liam Smith don't throw a combination of 4 and hit you with maybe 2. He'll definitely hit you 3 of them 4 punches. He don't waste a lot at all, and everything he does, like I was just saying, like, I have to think about what I'm doing. I think Liam Smith is a perfect example of that, because Liam Smith don't move in the boxing ring without a reason for that movement. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he goes left, he's doing it for a certain reason. If he goes right, the same thing. If he throws a jab, it's because he's got something coming off it, or so on and so forth. But he's a great example. He just, everything he does is for a reason. There's nothing he does to waste. He don't waste no energy. That he doesn't have to waste. He don't throw any punches that don't normally land. But yeah, he's a great example.
But is he the best you fought?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably just. He's not the best at everything. There's been faster kids. There's definitely been kids that have hit harder. But everyone's got their own thing. Like, some people are super fast, so that's why you can't beat them. Some people are hit hard, so that's why you can't beat them. Liam Smith's just all round good at most things. Do you know what I mean? Like, most people work on other things that to their advantage. But I think Liam's just good all round. Do you know what I mean? So, from top to bottom, Liam's good. His footwork's decent. His head movement's good. He throws his combinations really well. Whereas most people have just got one of them that's really good, and others that are lacking. Whereas Liam Smith sort of, on par with everything, if that makes sense.
While we're talking about your former opponents, we saw Mohammad Mamoon not too long ago
Yeah.
in the semi-final of the MTK Golden Contract. What did you make of that fight?
I didn't catch it, I didn't catch it, but I had a lot of people ringing me saying, he's really, really been robbed. Did you see it?
Yeah, I watched it back. I had him winning, but I thought it was quite close. I thought the commentators made it seem more one-sided than it was.
Yeah, I ain't watched it. I mean, I heard he was a good 3 rounds in front.
Yeah, I think I had him by either 1 or 2 at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I ain't watched it. I felt bad for him at the time. He's a cool guy. Still talks to me today. But it is what it is. Boxing, ain't it? You get decisions sometimes you don't.
What's kind of the roadmap for you now? Like you said, IBF number 5, which is a great position to be in. I think one of those spots above you might be vacant as well, which means in effect you're actually number 4. How far away are you from a world title shot, and what's the route map to getting there?
I think after winning the title, the plan was to defend it as soon as possible. So I think I've never been in any sort of position to have an argument for some sort of eliminator of some sort, and I think I am now. I think being like you say 5th, 4th in the IBF, I've got some sort of argument to say, look, I want to eliminate it now. I should really get one. But some of that sort, definitely a defence of the belt, and then I just got to buy more time because I think there's a final limit has already been fought. A Russian kid has fought a Spanish.
Yeah, so the Russian kid's now number 1 contender to mandatory.
Yeah, so I think he fought a final eliminator. So I think no matter what happens, someone's waiting, unless someone wants to do it voluntary. But to defend it or some sort of eliminator will be great. I think that's the best way to go. If I got a European title shot, if someone rang me and said that, as long as it was fair. I mean, I always say I'll take any fight as long as the deal's fair. Everyone gets what they should get. Everyone gets what they deserve. Don't just offer me a title and offer me tuppence, because that's not fair. That's not. I'm not going to take that. I've got although I want to win titles, I've got a family to feed as well. So everything needs to be on point with the other thing. So if a European title shot comes up, it's the change. I'm not going to take that because that'd be stupid to do. So I think if a decent fight come around for the Europeans, I'd take it. But I think other than that, I think eliminator is a good idea, or defend about that. I'll obviously want.
What surprised me when I looked at the IBF ratings, obviously I expected you to be quite high up after the Fio Di Giglio win. God, I'm not going to say that again. Was that JJ Metcalf is number 4 with the IBF. So it's a domestic fight, one that you probably consider a winnable fight, and that could easily be an IBF eliminator, number 5 against number 4.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, I don't think, I know this is going to sound bad. I mean, I've never met Metcalf. I've got nothing against him. I don't think that fight's worth having for me if it's not an eliminator.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know he beat Wellborn after Wellborn went to America. I understand that, but I don't think that fight's worth me taking unless he's an eliminator of some sort. Do you know what I mean? So if it was eliminated, I'd take it up. In seconds. I think that's a great fight. I didn't saw much of him really. I've only saw him stop Wildborn. I didn't watch all that fight. I've only watched clips. But from what I've heard, it'd be a great fight. And if it was eliminated, I think it'd be an easy fight to make.
Yeah, I agree. And I assume you feel the same way about a kind of domestic trio at the moment with Cheeseman, Fitzgerald, and Fowler. That unless there's something bigger than domestic supremacy or whatever on the line, you're not really interested in those fights anymore.
Yeah, and this is people think I'm being, big-headed and, like I'm better than them. That's not the case. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I'm just saying at the moment that don't make sense to me. What, you know what I mean? Fowler has fought for the British, lost. Did he fight for the British? Yeah, he fought for the British and lost.
Yeah.
Cheeseman, fought for the European and lost. And Fitzgerald just won the British. So to me, none of them make sense really, unless there's really big wedge there.
Fowler lost to Fitzgerald, but I don't think
we'll just have to
British
wait.
was on the line. I should say that just in case he moaned.
Weren't it?
No, because I think
Oh no, of
Fitzgerald
course
won it
not.
afterwards.
He won. Yeah, he did. He did.
Beat Fowler
yeah, you're
for
right. So
like an interstrap or whatever, and then he beat Cheeseman for the British.
Yeah, you're right. I was on that card.
You should be telling me.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't think any of them make sense unless there's big money there. But if there's some sort of eliminator about it, if they can get them in for that, then I'm well up for it.
You got a lot of admirers out there, not just Barry Hearn, of course. A lot of fans that admire the way you go about your work, humble but hard-working, aggressive as well, which people love in the ring.
Yeah.
What's your motivation? What do you do it for?
I think because I didn't box, like I'd quit the amateur stuff. I didn't even do a senior season. I'd quit. I got a job, and as soon as my son come, I had a mate of mine from the amateur, Craig Cunningham.
Yeah.
We went to the same amateur club, and he was turning over, properly, like really, like doing it as good as he could. And I heard about the journeyman thing, so as soon as I had my son and I lost my job, I thought I need to, to earn something because it's not just me now. And I thought if I do the journeyman thing, win, lose or draw, come back most weekends with, a nice wedge of change in my pocket. I'll do that. So it's the kids, man. Anything I can do to better myself for them in a sense, set them up in any way, and I'll do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat. So the fact that we're winning now is a bonus, but I would have still been doing it now, for the kids if I was a journeyman as well. So yeah, I mean, winning belts is lovely, and I do want to go out and win belts for me. But if I weren't winning belts and I was on the road, then I'd still be doing the same thing for them. So I think it all roads lead back to the kids, if you know what I mean. And anything I can do for them to set them up, or help them out, I'll do it.
Are you planning for many more? Going to go for the football team?
Mate, if I win the lottery, I'll knock loads out. I will. I love it, I do, but it all depends on how I'm living. But at the moment, 3's enough. We're just that bursting point now in the house, so any more and it will explode.
Fair enough. Well, really appreciate you finding some time to speak to me, and I look forward to seeing you back in the ring as soon as possible.
Cheers, pal. I appreciate you having me on. So anytime as well.
Brilliant. All right, we'll take care. Right. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
And you, pal. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.